probably should have specified in the title that this is a blind playthrough. Sorry, I got a sore in my mouth. It's making talking really painful. I bit my mouth and it has not healed over and therefore has developed into a sore. Hi, hello. I am tired. I am tired and we're just gonna have to deal with it. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I want to play. I don't really have energy to do much else. I don't want to have my brain super active. I don't want to put in too much effort. And I don't want to do puzzles right now. So then the only thing I can think of is, you know what? I can finally play the stupid ass thing blind for the first time. But that means I have to deal with more Great Ace Attorney until further notice. So we decided to do it. Yeah, this is not gonna be a good time. It's fine. It's fine. But hey, you guys get to watch me play a visual novel for the first blind for the first time. If you don't want to include World's End Club and oh god, Mutant Order? I think those were the only other two I've played that's visual novel-esque. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I just put on my headphones for no reason. Hold up. I am so used to putting on my headphones. But I don't need to because the audio is not coming in. Once the audio is on my monitor. Okay, I think I calibrated myself. Everything's good to go. This is gonna be a really bad time. Terrible time indeed. Cool, fantastic. Alright. Hi, hello. I don't know how long it's been since we've finished Great Ace Attorney. But now I can play the other half. Yeah. So this game's split into two. Just finished up Adventures. And now I can go into Resolve. I know 4 things in Resolve because it was spoiled to me thanks to the Wikipedia not being organized. More often than anything, it would actually have a big old warning saying, hey, spoilers ahead, or hey, past this point is a spoiler, or hey, this section is a spoiler. No, I went to go get pictures and then I saw the starting description and like all 4 of them got spoiled for me that way. I don't know when it happens. I just know things happen. And I do not approve of any of this out of context. Well, no, it's pertaining to, I think, 4 characters, technically. 2 of which are okay. The other 2 are not. The other 2 are absolutely not okay. Absolutely not. 100%. Like, 1,000% not okay. So I know nothing outside of those. Surely it'll be fine, right? Right? But yeah, no, this is my first time doing playing Resolve. I am super excited. And now I'm regretting doing this because I have a sore in my mouth. Oh? No! Is that Cosima's grave?
Standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean.
Or is that her dad's grave?
Those days in London seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital.
Hi.
You know, he's flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer. I've no doubt that at this very moment, he's fighting some noble cause in court. Forgive me for taking so long to come to visit you. My life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home.
I find myself faced with another awful crime. Oh!
So I came here today to ask something of you. Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court. For the only time in my life. As a lawyer. So please, I ask for your guidance. Kazuma-sama.
Oh, I got chills! I've got freaking chills, yo! What do you mean? Oh, I'm really glad I didn't get swole on that. Like, what the hell? I get to play Susato as a lawyer? Bro! Also, outside of that fact, Giselle's dead? Here I am again after 9 months. Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Oh my. I feel so nervous, but I must steel my nerves and find a way to compose myself. Dad! Ah, good, you're here. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be late. Oh, yes, good morning, sir. I hardly recognized you. You got a fine figure, Counsel. But you look as white as a sheet. Those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Oh dear. Truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous. I feel utterly nauseated. I almost wish that I had never been born. Goodness. Not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say. Yuji Mikotoba, Professor of Medicine at the Imperial Yume University. A man who, earlier in his life, traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science. And of course, my brilliant father. Excuse me. Hi! Oh my god, you're so small. And your kimono is so pretty. Would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today? Oh, yes, that's right, miss. Well, I wanted to thank you for agreeing to represent me. I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication, this whole thing! Ray Mimbami? Mimbami? I'm gonna have a field day trying to pronounce all this. Born in the same year as I and my greatest friend. Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the University Research Laboratory, helping my father. And sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial. She used to commit a truly awful murder. Are you feeling alright? Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flustered, or flushed. Oh my, it's just that you look so gallant and dashing. Sorry? And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful. Goodness. I don't think she knows. She hasn't realized who I am. It would seem our little plan for this trial is going to work. Oh, what do you mean, Professor Mikotoba? If even your best friend can't see through the disguise, I think we can relax. Disguise? Yes, I've never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. This does make me feel a little relieved, you say, Father? Father? What? Is that you, Susato? I'm so sorry I didn't tell you something sooner, right? No! What are you doing? What's going on? What? That varsity uniform, that varsity cap, that varsity cape, that varsity badge! Look at you! You look for all the world... You look for all the world just like a student of the Imperial Yume University, a male student! I'm so glad you think so. It means all my preparations has been worthwhile. I woke up forward this morning to make a start. But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that? Well, you see... It was the only way. The only way she will be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial. My defense? Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside of the courtroom. Despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike. But women are forbidden. As for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door, so that I can act as your lawyer. Oh, Susato, you'd go to such lengths for me? Of course, you're my greatest friend. I'm just worried that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve. Oh no, I have complete faith in you. Ray. It's so strange though. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already. And yet, just because you're a woman? Well, what a wretched reason! I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so gallant and dashing! Ray? Please don't look at me like that, with those flushed cheeks and doting eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you really do look so dashing. Yes, you've mentioned that once or twice. You should be pleased. It means you look convincing as a man. I am pleased, I think. It certainly helped to bolster my confidence today. Hey, you're managing to put on a brave face in all this, but I can see through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped and how you're trembling ever so slightly. Susato, you do believe in me, don't you? I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder. Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Isn't that right? Yes. Yes, it is. Perfectly clean. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence. Which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be on your side. Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer. It means so much to me, Susato. Defendant! Counsel! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. You should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty. Oh. Stand aside! I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast. Well, Susato, you've certainly surprised your father. Going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom, and with no prior experience of being a lawyer. There was simply no other way. That's all there is to it. The father? You haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right that I'm assuming that Ray doesn't know how it came to this? Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her. It would only worry her if she found that no other lawyer would agree to take her case. I didn't want to burden her with that. And is it true? The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case? Is it really because of who the victim was? We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student. Thank you, Father. I am so excited. Do I play the entire game of Susato? There's no shot. I'm Susato Mikatova, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan. How many times have I wished that he were here, I wonder. Still, I have no choice now but to steel myself for the trial ahead. Wish me luck, Naruhodo-san. I'm so fucking excited! I'm super excited. I'm gonna scream at Nate and he's gonna laugh. Oh, yep, that's Algie. This court is now in session to hear the trial of Ray Membabi. Did your hair... No, right? Because Kazuma cut his top knot, so he just has his hair down. He looks like pain. The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency. Defense Counsel, are you ready? Yes, Your Excellency, we are ready. Ready! Yes, Counsel. According to your registration details, your name is, Yutar Naruhodo. Is that correct? So wait, am I angled correctly? Why do I keep on looking down? Come on. Am I not configured correctly? I don't think I was. Why? Sorry? Oh my god, this poor child. Oh yes, I had to come up with a suitable male name for you for this little venture. So I'm afraid to say I simply put down the first name and that sprung to my mind. Oh, Counsel? Yes, that's right, that's me. Yes, I'm Ryotaro, he who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan. It seems Ryotaro may need to consider how better to uphold his manly act first and not overdo it. And those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax and listen. Naruhodo? A fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. But the name Naruhodo, would that perchance be? You may be thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program. This is, his cousin! That's right. Ryotaro here has been studying in the provinces, but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in the matter of laws, his knowledge rivals that of any Tokyo preeminent lawyers. Any of them! What a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused has had to call in a country boy. How dare you! This is a bad time for my battery to die. Oh, wait, hang on, hold up. I need to crawl under my desk to get the cable, because I don't know where another cable is, and I know there's one behind my computer, and if I hook it up to the computer, it's not gonna work. Oh, God. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. Good. I plugged into my Switch now. How dare you! Susato's every bit as gallant dash as any of your Tokyo attorneys! I won't have you making fun of her! Her? Oh, please be careful, Ray. What an unrefined tomboy we have here. And I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you? His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not. I'm so nervous. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, eyes are want to flit. The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interests. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may well affect the very future of our empire. Just like the trial 9 months ago. And yet for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock. Dear me. Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense. Determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom. 9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now, the same judge tests him as well. And even though he was just a student at the time, not even of law, he passed the test with flying colors. For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy. So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions? Alright. It's time to prove myself. Yes, Your Excellency. But please do make them simple. Very well. To start with, you will state the name of the victim. Whew, that is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried. Huh. What's the matter? I'm standing in his shoes. I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, minds are wont to blank. It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position, and guys, even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstances. Oh dear, this is a dismal failure. Don't fret. You need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem. Of course, the court record. Yes, the answer will be amongst all the key information about the case of the court record. That's right. As you use R to open the court record. You need to flip to the people section with R. And don't take too long. Don't take too long over it. His Excellency is watching you closely. Alright, check the court record with R. That's the information I'll need will be. Hang on, I want to read this. So, Giselle, so she did die. Why? A single deep stab from behind, piercing a lung, and resulting in fatal hemorrhaging. So within minutes. It's not instantaneous, but it's not long. Extreme meiosis. Pupil constriction was observed in the victim in both eyes. I think that means that the pupils were like stupid small. People. So she is the defendant. She is the victim. I did not think he was going to die. I'm waiting, counsel. What is the name of the victim in this case? The victim in this case is... Yes! Prosecutor Takatsuchi Algae! What? Why the sudden triumph cry of yes? Are you threatening to kill me? He seems angry. And you're surprised. You consult the court record. I did. It was just really funny. And I trust the person whose features appear to be the most deadly. I must say, this most unusual methodology of yours leaves me almost speechless. It occurs to me with a renewed certainty that the reading the information carefully is vitally important. I strongly recommend it. Oh dear. I simply can't ignore that imploring look. Your Excellency, please allow me to amend my answer. I'm sorry, that was funny.
Yes!
She's mimicking him to a T. The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Giselle Brett. Giselle Brett. Name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I'm sure. Correct. And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. So let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why then is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history? Blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you won't have forgotten that case from 9 months ago. But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record. Is it? I don't remember seeing it in there. Excuse me? Oh, wait, no. It's in her. Yeah. That was the start of everything. Zelbrett. Behind the woman student's persona was the face of... Queen Victoria! A killer.
Yes!
9 months ago, A visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed. And the culprit was Giselle Brett. Yes, he was the killer. At the time, our country has just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain. And it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor Mikotoba. Yes. I was indebted to the man. He's been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here. It was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor at the university. Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter of the government wished to resolve rapidly. Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court. A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested on suspicion of murder. A second-year English language student by the name of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. With the help of his best friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense and exposed the despicable crime committed by Miss Giselle Brett. Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, he gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion. Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to the Empire's laws. It was a sad issue we were moved to Shanghai, China instead. Why Shanghai? There's a British consular court there. Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally set upon only last week. All that remained of our Empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board on a steamship. And yet, the very day before her departure, the English woman was killed! Only the day before? That will do. I'm satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant. Oh! Thank you, Your Excellency. For the first hurdle. Now, a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Algie. As is your wish, Your Excellency. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th August in broad daylight. Birds! Little seagulls! It's a crab! On the outskirts of the Imperial capital under a bright blue sky, at a secluded bathing spot by the sea. The incident occurred inside a small beach hut, erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes. The cause of death was a single stab to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung, an injury which proved fatal. There were two persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death. Miss Brett in her bathing attire, and the accused, Ray Mimbabi. Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she has a powerful motive. The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady. Well, that extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say. That's certainly true. The prosecution's summary is full of words that raise an awful lot of questions. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about. You're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement. It's a yokel boy using long words he doesn't fully understand. I beg your pardon? No matter. Let us put this to the accused, shall we? Mombi-san, You are a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe. Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikotoba in his laboratory at the moment. I can confirm that. The defendant is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility. Fascinating to hear. Now, another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikotoba, whose research were you assisting then? Oh, I was studying under John H. Wilson. Dr. Wilson? The visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brett 9 months ago. The accused has a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true? Yes, Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man. Interesting. Then tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had towards the English woman who killed him. Well, obviously I was filled with hatred for what she'd done, a powerful hatred. Oh no, Ray, be careful of what you're saying. The motive was revenge. Plain and simple, Your Excellency. Well, it was clearly a trap all along. How wicked of him to use Ray's undying respect for her former mentor against her like that. Let's find out more details. It's something we can use to bolster our defense. Mbambi-san? Yes? What is it, Naruhodo-san! I'm really starting to wish we'd made my alias Ryutaro Susato. Please tell the court why exactly you were present at the bathing spot with the victim in the first place. And why you were alone with her. Oh, well, no, that's not true at all! It wasn't like that at all! There were other people present, a detective who was guarding Miss Brett, for starters. I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as companion, that's all. But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut. You and no one else. The truth is, there's only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life. No! Because, as we know, the following day you would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai. And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again. Kindly refrain from conjecture, counsel. Prosecution counsel seems to enjoy using provocative tricks like this. But for now, at least, we need to assemble more facts. And not to let him go to you. Oh dear, this is really terrifying. But Father's right. We need more information. If I may, Professor Algie. What do you, Prosecutor Algie. What do you want, you fresh-faced young yokel student? I wonder, could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot. My apologies. Clearly my modernity has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the West. We are told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skins. No, that's not what I meant. I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder. How would a known criminal have been relaxed by the sea? For old time's sake, I believe? Sorry? Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast. And the British Embassy put extreme pressure on our government to comply. But on what grounds would we agree to such a request? Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers. In matters of diplomacy, it seems we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal. Don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I. In any case, it was decided that with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could go wrong. But in fact, a murder took place. I said don't look at me! It was that young student girl who did it, not I! No one has proved that yet! I wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to. I believe we all have a clear picture of the incident now. Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university. Obviously, over that period, she and Ray would have encountered each other on a number of occasions. Seeing the murder of the mentor for whom she had such great respect to join such undeserved liberty. Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's extraction to Shanghai, you can hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment. Poor Ray. So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind as to peruse this exhibit. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime immediately following the grim incident. That is a very large dress. Yes, thank you, Counsel. A tragic image. As you can clearly see, there is nowhere within the hut that anyone else could have hidden. The court will accept this photographic print as evidence. As I understand it then, the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time. This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant. Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to its case. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime and damning evidence. Witnesses? But who? One of whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective. I assure you, the testimony of these witnesses will leave no room for doubt. Very well then, Counsel. Bring forth your witnesses. I, Takatsuchi Alchi, am waiting for this moment. Sorry? Oh yes, I haven't forgotten. That trial 9 months ago, here in this very courthouse. When that irrelevant little student boy utterly humiliated me. Ryunosuke Naruhodo! What, yes? This insult to the Alchi family name will never be forgotten. You've become conceit with age, Counsel. But the old has to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Oh, he has a little curly on his forehead. Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot has been cut and the bell of culture enlightenment tolls. Yes, on that fateful day, my former self died. The start of your own mini Meiji revolution. Are you modernizing as well, Counsel? Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, there's been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the algae growth. You see the seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown. I think the tiny growth is trying to tell me something. I'm afraid I can't really see. Where is your hope exactly? I said silence. Today, I face another yokel student of the Naruhodo clan. Well, I will vanquish you. And my... I'm dying. And my victory will be fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned. With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand. It looks like the stakes are high on both sides this trial. The prosecution and defense each have much to lose. A haircut is hardly comparable to Ray's life. So we're gonna see Hosonaga, I assume? What? Okay, so one of the things I got spoiled on is the fact that we get to see Natsume again. What the fuck am I staring at? Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. Oh my god, he has a turtle on his head! Also, damn, he is kind of ripped. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Imperial Police Bureau. I'm in disguise, obviously, so I can go undetected. And I am, well, next big thing in books. An author renowned throughout the capital, in fact, yes. Soon to be sold out! The Satyria I Am a Cat, a sensational success by Soseki Natsume! Who the hell are you? Oh my goodness! Struggling student from the provinces, please! You need to be in awe of me. I needn't? It's only natural that you feel nervous in my presence. But all of you, please relax. Relax. Call me Soseki, even. Yes. What on earth is Soseki-san doing here? Tread carefully, Susato. That author fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? If he exposes you for who you really are, this will be over before begun. Yes. Yes, of course, I know. I presume Soseki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. Although he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so that's been since I last saw him. I just realized he's also tanned, isn't he? Isn't Hosonaga a little bit tanner than before? And for Inspector Hosonaga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe. Do I have something on my face? Look at the turtle! Well, your glasses for one, although they don't seem to be helping you see. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either. Ah, I suppose this is this disguise, isn't it? I thought that appearing here in the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony. It is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly. Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present. But what business did a writer such as yourself have been at the scenes of Second? Ah, well, you see, I have been asked that day to give a lecture. On the morning of the incident, in the Imperial Yume University's Grand Lecture Hall, no less. At Yume University? After the lecture, I had a very pleasant conversation with a researcher from the Medical Science Department. The professor over there, in fact. With Professor Mikotova? Yes, that's right. It was arranged by one of the newspapers. They wanted some story or other about 2 former students who studied in Great Britain. Of course, being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone. They secretly spy, snapshots, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy. As you can see, the conversation's written up in this newspaper here. Read it at your leisure, my provincial struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies. Thank you very much. He practically threw the paper at me. Seki Natsume article. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. You are no longer important. Aww. Wait, what's his face down there? He's not supposed to be there. That's so cute though. Why is that cracked? Why is this cracked? What happened? Who didn't? Look at him. He's adorable. He is adorable and dashing. Following my interview with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. Those were her words. As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody. She continued to work in my laboratory under strict surveillance, of course. At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go as long as the detective accompanies her. That detective, I am at liberty to divulge, was me, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga. Thereby, the entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems. It was extremely challenging to clear all other members of the public from the vicinity of the beach. But fortunately, I'm at peak physical fitness at the moment, so... I was able to carry out my duty flawlessly. Oh my, Inspector, you're... Well, you do have something on your face now. Ah, how unsightly. I do apologize. Does that mean you went to the beach too, Father? No, fortunately I had work to finish off. But unfortunately, of course, it meant that as my assistant, Ray was invited to take my place. Of course, being a renowned author, I didn't like to decline the invitation. Ah, but if only I had! I'd never have seen that awful sight! Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret! No, seriously, who the fuck is that? Very well. I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court. You'll give an account of all that you've witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast. Of course, Your Excellency. I don't like how the little notification sound is like decreasing in tone. Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret I am. I am made of so much concern and so much confusion. And give me a second, I'm gonna go yell at Nate. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise. I just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a whale wall from behind me. I ran to the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question. Yes! That young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly. I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she'd stabbed the victim multiple times. That was a single stab. Let me double check. Hold on. Isn't it just a single stab? Yeah, a single stab! What the hell are you guys on about? What the hell are both of you on about? Are you okay? Indeed, it does appear from this testimony that both witnesses here present saw it. The very moment of this heinous crime. What? Now, if you will recall, I promised evidence as well. What phrase did I use again? Ah, yes, that was it. Damning evidence. I have something on my face. What do you have there, Counsel? The so-called fountain pen, is it? There's no shot that's the murder weapon, right? Correct, Your Excellency. I found it at the scene whilst examining the body. It appears that in her dying moments with their final ounce of strength, the victim clutched a piece of evidence that would positively identify her killer. What? Your Excellency, if you would cast your eyes over to the photographic print of the crime scene once more... Ah, goodness me! Yes, the victim's clearly grasping something quite deliberately. Is that a freaking cup of wine right next to her? Also, is the swan on her head dead? When she died, did the swan die too? Because that thing was real. Also, goddamn it, Sin, how dare you? That's right, the fountain pen. And if you would kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency. The owner's initials have been engraved into the ebonite barrel. R.M. Ray Mbambe. Sweetheart, I'm about to change your last goddamn name. Nate, I need assistance. No, scratch that. I need saving. Initials of the defendant. Oh! Sisato, please don't hang out around Ryunosuke anymore. This fountain pen will be admitted immediately as critical evidence. So can I observe it? Will you grant me access To observe it. No! Because you're baby locking me and I can't examine it! Decisive testimony and damning evidence. His cheekbone is clipping through his hair. I thought I was crazy the first time, but I definitely saw it that time. There's a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to ascribe guilt, I feel. Okay, I really don't like how this little sound effect keeps on decreasing in tone and octave. What the hell's going on? I'm so concerned. I don't understand. The prosecutor Algie of 9 months ago. It's none of this man's poise. Answer for the defense. You may begin your cross-examination now. Naruhodo-san! Naruhodo. That means... Oh, yes! Me! Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom? Actually, there isn't even a single Naruhodo in your courtroom. Cousin Ryutaru, pull yourself together, please. Alright, I've seen this countless times as a judicial assistant. Find inconsistencies in the witnesses' testimonies to prove that they're lying somehow. That's all there is to it. That's how a real lawyer should handle cross-examination. So let's see what I can do. When I'm done with this, I am about to roundhouse kick Soseki in the head. I can't. Oh god. Okay, so the problem is, if you're playing it for the first time, you actually can't speed through it. So this is gonna be a little bit miserable. It's a freaking turtle. This is gonna be miserable. You. No, not you. You. You are a dummy.
Objection!
That accusatory cry that just welled up from deep inside me. I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama Naruhodo-san had stood here at this bench, the stakes have been very, very high indeed. What's the meaning of that messing pose, counsel? The music! I'd like the witness to clarify something for me. Who? What? Where? When? How? No, seriously, who in God's name are you? You look like you're from straight from Lupin. Not you, Soseki-san. This query is directed at Inspector Hosonaga. At me? In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times. Yes, that's right. As I said when I entered the hut, the defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand, like a murderous demon. And yet, that cannot be. What? Get to the point, please, counsel. Oh, it's so small! In the post-mortem report, it clearly states that the victim was stabbed 1 time only. In other words, Inspector Hosanaga's testimony is clearly flawed. It's Soseki-san. Me? You claim to have seen Mimbabi-san in the throes of stabbing the victim. Yes, I did! Wildly! But both of you and the inspector confirmed the same point, that there was already blood on the knife that he saw the defendant holding. Yes, and it's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once, therefore, there's no way there could have been blood on the knife if that single stabbing had not reoccurred. Ah, true! Then what exactly is your contention, counsel? Are you ever going to tell us? Yes, Your Excellency. There's only one logical conclusion. What Soseki-san in fact saw was not the moment of the defendant stabbed the victim at all. The moment the defendant in fact withdrew the blade from the victim's body. That can't be! Excellent work, Susato. You exploded at them without objection, and then proceeded to pull them apart systematically.
Objection!
Objection! Well, this takes me back. Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in the trial 9 months ago. A half-witted child with a half-baked objection attempted to steal the show. You're right, there were certain similarities. Except that so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution. It was only half a head of hair. Slander! My head is quite adequately dressed. In any case, all this talking of stabbing and withdrawing and multiple wounds, it makes not a jot of difference. What? Why not? Engage your brain, young man. When the accused first plunged a deadly weapon into the victim, that was the fatal blow. And it was that moment, just as she had drawn the blade ready for her next strike, that the witnesses saw. The knife was already tainted with blood, because the accused has already stabbed the victim. All you had successfully shown with your little display is that the mustache author is prone to moments of extravagance. I'm in agreement with the prosecution. If the defendant was seen wielding the blade at all, that is sufficient grounds for her actions to be viewed with suspicion. But if she was withdrawing the blade, then we are back to where we started. Sorry? Consider this, young yokel boy. If the student girl is innocent as you claim, then why would she have pulled the blade from the victim, and with the demon's cold-blooded composure too? The prosecution demands an explanation, and it better be good. I did Ray pull out the knife? Ah, yes, going for the jugular. What's father mean by that? Let the court hear your answer then, counsel. I don't really know. But I have to come up with a plausible reason here, or we don't have a case. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife blade out of the victim's body was surely so she can... Two of them were working against her, but the third one, I'm not sure it would make a lot of sense for medicals. Because when you're stabbed with any object, you're already bleeding from it. Removing the object means you will bleed more, profusely even, especially if you hit a major vein. The object that you were stabbed with may have nicked or punctured the blood vessels, but that is the only thing keeping it from bleeding anymore, like profusely. This is the only one that does not, like, make her a victim, or a killer. According to the post-mortem report, the victim's death was not instant. That's correct. It's thought that she would have remained conscious for a short while after sustaining the injury. Indeed, giving her the time to take hold of this piece of evidence that clearly indicates her killer. The point is, being a medical research assistant, Membabi-san was compelled to act when faced with the wounded victim. Instinctively, she pulled the blade out in an attempt to save Miss Brett's life. Yeah, that's what I figured. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? It would seem that this is the best we can expect of this young yokel. Indeed. It's just me, or does this suddenly feel much colder in here? Your Excellency, if I may? Speak, witness. I would like another opportunity to testify. In respect to the slipshod assertion just put forward by the yokel defense counsel, I mean. Slipshod? An excellent idea, Inspector. Our young yokel hopefully has a modicum of knowledge when it comes to the law, it seems. But in matters of medicine, he appears to possess not one iota of common sense. Very well, Inspector. I will permit your request. You will testify again before the court, on the subject of the defense counsel's assertion. Yes, sir. I will do so flawlessly. Of course, Seki's still crying. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. Basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defense's highly respected mentor. Is that what you just said true, Inspector? Did pulling a knife from the wound really cause the wound bleed heavily? Yes. Think of the weapon itself as a stopper in the wound that prevents excessive blood loss. Until a doctor is ready to provide proper treatment, that stopper shouldn't be removed. Oh, I see.
Ha! This is why Yoko should stay in the farm. Even a quack from some obscure mountain village would have such basic knowledge.
Anyone who's ever given someone a little poke with a knife and pulled it out again knows it. Oh, well, I've never stabbed anyone, you see, or pulled a blade out of a wound, so... Of course you haven't. I didn't bring you up to behave you like a bandit. Father, is it true what they're telling me? Yes, it is basic remedial knowledge for medics. Faye would have been well aware of it. If she were to claim ignorance of such fundamentals, that would prove fatal in many ways. Then, why would Ray have done it? Would she have pulled out that knife in full knowledge that it would be fatal for Miss Brett? I don't know. Ray never once mentioned anything about the knife to me. It seems almost impossible to believe, but... my friend actually have... Susato!
Yes?
Pull yourself together. We mustn't lose sight of why we're here. Counsel, it's time for your cross-examination. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. However, I must warn you that if your cross-examination fails to identify any issue with the established facts, I will be moving to my adjudication immediately afterwards. I understand. Believe in your clients and fighting for their cause until the bitter end. I knew it would be hard, but I have no idea it would be this hard. I'm drinking my tea and contemplating my life choices. So what exactly am I pressing here? Because there's nothing. All of this is correct. The problem is all of this is correct.
Hold it!
The defendant had suddenly encountered somebody she knew lying on the ground bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently. I really don't think inadvertent actions can explain this. The woman is a medical research assistant. I can't imagine she would have behaved so irrationally. He is stroking the turtle and it just moves up and down. Oh, but irrational behavior is a woman's prerogative, isn't it? Oh dear, you have a lot to learn about women. Only a small-minded man could have such bigoted views. Oh dear, perhaps I'm letting my male persona take hold a little too much. Well, now I've managed to convey the basics now. That should cover the medical side of the argument. No, but seriously. Am I supposed to press everything? Well, the thing is, there's nothing for me to, like...
Hold it!
Oh yes, that's true. Dr. Wilson recognized Mimbabi-san's talent and offered her the position of assisting despite her being a woman. She was extremely grateful to him. Yes, the Englishman appears to have been a very broad-minded individual. Dr. Wilson had no time for outdated traditions. He met with opposition, of course, but he believed firmly in Mimbabi-san's abilities. Clearly, the defendant was in the man's debt. which only serves to prove my point. It's hopeless. I can't find a single crack in his testimony anywhere. If Ray knew that withdrawing the blade from the wound would threaten Miss Brett's life any further, I just can't think of any way to explain why she did it. Zato, it's at times like this when it's especially important to remember the fundamentals. Fundamentals? Evidence is what counts the courtroom, isn't it? Of course, but I've been through the court record dozens of times already. I think perhaps you're forgetting something, though. You needn't take the evidence at face value. You can and must examine in greater detail, too. I realize it's your first time playing the role of lawyer in the courtroom. If we need to remind you of the rudiments, you need only ask. I'll do my very best to help. From the evidence in the court record? An idea, certainly. What should I do? I know what to do. Come to think of it, hasn't myself and Naruhodo-san were always turning evidence over and over in their hands. Yes, I need to examine things in greater detail with A. By the look in your eyes, I see it's coming back to you. Go through the court record again and have a thorough look at everything. You may just find a clue. Yes, I'll do it straight away. Okay, I can finally look at the evidence. Gimme. This is a newspaper for Saseki-san. There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Exclusive! Deadly poison stolen from Yume University Research Lab. Yume's medical research? Father, isn't that your lab? What the? Let me see that! The poison's been stolen? It's this morning's paper that Saseki gave us. You saying you didn't know? As embarrassing as this is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I've not heard any such thing. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned his information? Come to think of it, there was no article mentioning the story in our paper this morning, was there? It's a highly toxic poison we've been working on in strictest confidence. I'd put Ray in charge of the project. Ray? She was managing it? If what's written here is true, it means that she tried to hide the theft from me. And moreover, details were leaked somehow. I don't believe it! We need to read this article very carefully. No, there's a little thing for algae right there. Hair growth. I want to lecture about Yume Saseki-san. Come to let the very disturbing place. A deadly poison has been secretly developed. The university's forensic science lab was stolen. Even the smallest amount entering the body, either the mouth or a wound from a poison-laced blade, would prove fatal in minutes. If our methods cannot detect the newly developed chemical, the university would have to be consulted. Onset of symptoms occur in minutes, starting with the impaired breathing and ending with acute contraction of pupils prior to death. Such symptoms would be suggestive of this toxicity. Apparently an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids and rumored to have been commissioned by the military. So yeah, that's what killed Bizette. Is it because she withdrew the blade knowing that it was laced with poison? Hey, cap. We take off the pen's lid? No, it's a normal pen. It's a normal pen. Now let's unscrew the barrel, shall we? Oh, it's an injection. This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink. Yes, he filled by drawing ink from a bottle up through the nib. Is something wrong, Father? There doesn't appear to be any ink in there, that's all. Oh yes, you're right. It's pretty much empty. Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose. This is what killed her. She didn't commit suicide. I don't think she did. There's some sort of emblem here, look. But it isn't a Yume University one. It must belong to some other organization, I suppose. A business of some kind. That would seem to imply that the pen doesn't in fact belong to Ray. I mean, it would probably make more sense that it doesn't belong to her because it's in English. And they're Japanese. Wouldn't they want it to be in Japanese characters instead? Hold on. No. No.
Objection!
This one. No. There is one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound. What? Ha! The Yoko not only has a poor grasp of the law, but is also a poor loser. Tell us then, what possibility do you think you've identified? It's here, in this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison that has been stolen from a laboratory at the Imperial Yume University.
Objection!
The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance in this case. But, Prosecutor Algie, you will let the defense speak. But a newspaper article. The court cannot rely on the kind of hearsay those wretched publications carry. Counsel for the defense. I am going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article mentioned affirms your assertion. Your Excellency! Yes, of course. Thank you. They would never have done something to further endanger Miss Brett's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says... oh, fuck me. I think it was the second page? Yeah, the second page. Article reveals the following properties about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body on a knife laced with poison, it rapidly absorbs and causes death in minutes. Are you suggesting? If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Membabi-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible. Yes, the truth is... It was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body. What?
Objection!
This is a complete and utter nonsense. Not at all. The defendant withdrew the blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life. And the prosecution cannot deny that possibility. Have you not read the post-mortem report? The cause of death was hemorrhaging. The word poison appears nowhere in the document. Well, that's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevents the poison from taking hold.
Objection!
Oh, please, it's clearly desperation. The weasel's last breaking of wind. Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with the case, as I believe the defense is well aware. We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is at all reliable anyway. In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, you claim she suspected poisoning and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. She must have had a strong reason for her suspicions then, or the argument makes no sense. Exactly. Well put, Inspector. On what grounds did she do it, Yoko? I did raise suspect that stolen poison was involved. If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds. What? You can't possibly. From your expression, counsel, it would appear that those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in this courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence. Yes, Your Excellency. I'm well aware of that. I've seen it many times, from my place at his side in the Old Bailey. In that case, counsel, you will present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the news article? That'll be in the post-mortem report, I believe.
Take that!
I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the post-mortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in the victim. Clearly, being a Yoko with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea, so please do tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death. Well, under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constriction instead, that's most certainly unusual, yes.
What are you doing, you yokel detective?
In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death.
What?
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes have constricted severely, yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately, without doubt.
Prosecutor Algie, I think you'll agree this is very compelling evidence. You yokel student, yokel professor!
I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defendant's actions. No. Yuja Mikotoba. Yes, Your Excellency. I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense counsel's argument. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please. It pains me to have to admit that, but I'm afraid I don't know. You don't know? The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft.
Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded?
No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say.
Ha! Listen to the bumbling academic. Unaware by the theft of secret state research from his own workplace until he reads it on the newspaper.
I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision. Mother.
A pitiful situation for a university professor.
You should have more control over your students, rather than allowing them off on killing sprees.
That's totally unfounded.
None of this is Professor Mikotoba's fault. It's all my fault. Ray. Membabi-san, you stand accused here. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated. But it was me. I was the one who knows that the poison we developed has been stolen that day.
What?
So you knew. I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor and Sasaki-san were interviewing together for the newspaper. I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was. Why didn't you let me know immediately? I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So I decided I'd try to get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea who the thief was. Thief? You don't mean... Yes, of course. It was that dainty Englishwoman. Sale Brett. I decided to join a little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. I know it was you who stole the poison. Well now, whatever do you mean? And then, she suddenly got to her feet before falling to her knees in front of me and collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back. I couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. Pupils of her eyes they've shrunk to tiny pinpoints. Leave it. In other words, you realize that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison. My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips while I've been with her. Which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body. The blade of the knife in her back. That train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade. Yes, if the amount that has entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have a chance. That's what I had hoped. Really, I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time. Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I've duly noted the courage with which you confess in the end. Thank you, Your Excellency. It's barely perceptible, but I do think balance has shifted a little here in this courtroom now.
Objection!
Your Excellency, do not be deceived. The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, Mbambi-san, if that's the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed. Well, you have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim motivated by revenge.
Objection!
But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you? Oh, I have evidence, and it is very much conclusive. What's the prosecution counsel up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm just almost sure of it. You will produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Prosecutor Algie. Perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student. What? I had imagined there would be no need for me to submit this evidence. But you brought this onto yourself. What the? Could a more damning shot exist? Oh, wait. I can see her face. Also, this definitely came from a reporter. This definitely came from a reporter. Also, there is a hole in the back. Oh! It came from the same camera who took the picture of, the interview because of the crack. That's a crack on the lens. Could a more damning shot exist? The cruelty in the air on the beach is almost palpable. This evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accursed's murderous nature. For it shows the precise moment that Mbambi-san plunged her dagger into the victim's back. No, that's not true, no! I don't believe it. Order, order, order! Counsel for the defense, was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom? Perhaps his voice is yet to break. These yokels are slow of mind and slow to mature. Show you who's slow to mature. Careful now. Sada's starting to show her face here. It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have an ample proof. The court will accept this extremely conjugate photographic print as evidence. The incriminating photograph. I can't believe he has a photograph like this up his sleeve the entire time. It's such a stark image. I'm genuinely lost for words. Wait a minute, I don't understand. Who took that photograph? Ray.
Objection!
That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert attention.
Objection!
That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony. I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once. Well, I'm afraid I can't do that. Pardon? You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday. there is nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown. Goodness. Are we to understand, then, Counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photographic has the murkiest of origins, you nevertheless believe it fit for submission as evidence in the Supreme Court? First produced that print for, I noticed that you hesitated for a brief moment. Because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you?
Silence, you yokel student and blabbering professor!
What matters is the blatant truth that this print so elegantly expresses. The defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Clearly, this isn't the moment the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but the moment it was withdrawn. Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings. Indeed, without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And the scene it captures is without a doubt the most compelling evidence present to the court. If the defense is unable to shed any further light in the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear. Oh no. Sato, this is the time for you to fight. If what you've established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim. Yes, we just need to prove that somehow. You'll have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the province. And to rue the day you came up against Takatsuchi Algae in a court of law. I can't determine who took this photograph. The trial's going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. There must be some way of working out who took it. Well, Counsel? Your Excellency, the burning question is who took that photograph. And the truth is... This isn't about whether I can or can't come up with the answer now. I simply have to. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal. What? No! You can't possibly! But, as you so boldly claim that you can, please do enlighten us. Unfortunately, I'm unable to present a name. How utterly underwhelming! Did you really believe you could? However, I am able to present evidence. The defense is a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity. What? Very well then, Counsel. Present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the mystery photograph?
Take that!
What is that? A newspaper again? Cautious England returnees tell all. It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph. If you look at it closely, you'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand side. Ah, yes, indeed. You've already caught my eye as it happens. Ha! What of it? A shadow of some kind, presumably from the branches of a tree or the like. There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you. Now, if you look closely at this photograph, good gracious! Yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is present in this photograph too.
Objection!
Well, that tells us nothing. Ha ha! Yes, it's a shadow of some kind, definitely, from the branches of a tree. There would be any trees growing inside a hut at the beach, Counsel. What's quite remarkable about it is that these two patterns are absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired? The curious matching pattern that appears on both photographic prints is a result of... Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photographs. With the photographic device? Yes, we can confidently say that the camera lens must be scratched. And that the scratched lens caused unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device. In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera. But there must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one.
Objection!
I think you're forgetting something, Professor Algae. That one of the photographs features in a newspaper article. A newspaper. Ah! That's right. The author of that article is the mystery witness to this crime. What? What? I'm dying. Wait, who the hell? I see why you were called a Rosh's England attorney. What are you yelling about? You've already testified. Many memo. I tell you, many memo. Memo. Saseki-san, what was that? Did you say many memo? Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Shoyu News has been hounding me, following my every move. A reporter by the name of Raiten Many Memo. Yes, hounding me from dawn till dusk. Now that he mentions it, oh wait, he has an ink stain on his hand. That same reporter be... A camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right. There I am, stuck in the middle with Raiten Many Memo. You're saying that this picture was taken by Many Memo, yes! My lord, your excellency, Esquire! Officer, find this newspaper reporter at once, bring him to my courtroom. We will adjourn for a short recess in the meanwhile. Oh, yes, your excellency. As you say, your excellency. And one more thing. I want this knife, the murder weapon, examined for the traces of poison. You will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University Medical Department for the task. Understood? Meh. Mini memo! Oh, cool. We have a break time. Let me at least get to a point where there's music playing in the background. We could take a break. Because I really need to clear my throat. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, I'm gonna save over this. Goodbye. Oh, and it's even a different colors, you can tell. Okay, please play music, I beg you. Cool, alright. I'm going to be right back. Time to take a break. 5-10 minute break because everything hurts and I just want to chill for a second. Go get some water, go get some food, do whatever you want. I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm back. I just got really hungry. So I reheated some Odin. So let me just chill for a little bit. Eh. I say let me chill for a little bit, but I think this is gonna be really hot. Ah. Oh. It's really hot. Oh damn! I was gonna get. We have I have like a little spicy squid side dish. I forgot to get that. I'll get it later. Ooh. Okay, yeah. I need to let it cool down for a bit. Got incredibly hungry, and I'm like, if I don't eat now, I won't be able to eat when we have raid. Can I finish this case before raid? I'll have to find out. Hold on, I might need to recalibrate myself because I got up. Eh. But yeah, sorry. I did not mean for it to take that long. Cool. Ha! Okay, we'll put that over there. We'll put this over here. Ugh, I'll put the microphone back to where it's supposed to be. I'm pretty sure I'm like halfway, so I probably have to stop. I'm not gonna finish this case. I think. Go ahead and take this off the charger. I'm so sorry, Susato. I should have told you about the toxin. Hey. You have a strong sense of responsibility, I know. That's why you decided to shoulder the burden alone. No, that's not it at all! I was just scared of my failure coming to light, that's all. Oh, I hope to retrieve the substance from the English one before anyone found out. Before the trial started, do you remember what you said, Susato? That you had no doubt in your mind about my innocence! That you stand by me to the last! I remember. And yet I didn't deserve your trust in me. I hid important details from you, Susato. I completely betrayed your faith in me. Hit me, Susato! I deserve it! No, in fact, throw me to the floor! No, that's too good for me as well! Drag me through the city streets! I'm no better, you know. Even though in my heart I knew that you pulled the knife blade from Miss Brett's back, there was just a brief moment when in my mind, I thought I doubted you. Sato, sorry. After I stood here and promised you that I'd stand by you and always be on your side, you betrayed your faith in me too. As such, I failed you as a lawyer. Oh no. I think the situation has taught you both a valuable lesson. Placing your unbridled faith in another is no easy task. As father, that fact has certainly struck home. Which is why I can see you more clearly now. So, Ray? Yes? Can you find it in your heart to forgive me? Oh, Susato! You know you'll always be a gallant, dashing lawyer in my eyes now! Oh, Ray. I was so scared, you know, when it happened. I didn't know what was going on. The English woman was sitting at the back of the hut, listening to what I was saying. It was you who stole the poison. Well now, whatever do you mean? Oh wait, do you just not say more? And then a moment later, it suddenly got to her feet. Ow. We're collapsing on the floor in front of me. The knife in her back. Wait, hold on. Shit. Brighton May Momo. That's RM. That's his pen. That's his pen. That's his pen. All happened right before my eyes. And you were the only person in the hut at the time? That's right. It was Miss Brett and myself. There was no one else. So I just don't understand how she could have possibly been stabbed like that. Great mystery indeed. I still can't believe it happened. That's why I just couldn't bring myself to speak up. We'll be alright. However it happened, and whatever went on by the sea that day, I promise you that I'm going to prove everything you said you saw was true. Looking like a true Mikotoba. Now, I think we should discuss what's coming up in the trial, don't you? We don't have much time. Just make sure we have our facts in order. Yes. I expect the poison is going to come under close scrutiny in the upcoming proceedings. They should hopefully have identified it on the blade by now. The trouble is, it's a completely new laboratory-synthesized blend of alkaloids. The police won't have any way of testing for it. Oh, see. Yes. Without this chemical reagent, it is impossible to detect the toxin. Chemical reagent? I sent a colleague of mine off with some earlier to deliver to police headquarters. I think perhaps you should have some as well, though, just in case. Can I use it? Can I use it? Can I use it? Papa? The label appears to be written in a foreign language that I don't know. It's German, so your knowledge of English is going to be of little help here, I'm afraid. Couldn't you have just written down this on it in Japanese, and we'd all be able to read it? German is the international language of medicine, my dear. Is it? But yes, I can certainly see the merit in labeling the bottle in Japanese. Though I'm not sure medicine would be entirely appropriate. Can I use it? I want to use it on the pen. Will you allow me to use it on the pen? Would I use it on the pen? Please give me... Ah, you suck. You're a terrible person and everyone hates you. What's the matter, Suzato? You're suddenly very quiet. This newspaper article. Exclusive! Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. I wonder how the information got out, given that it was a government secret. It was all the Englishwoman's doing! Huh? It was when the professor and Saseki-san were being interviewed at the laboratory. The so-called English lady swaned in and without any compunction said to Professor Mikotoba. Oh, Professor. Surely your guests would love to hear about your work on the substance there. It put me in a very awkward position, to be frank. But Saseki-san's curiosity had been piqued, so I had little choice but to give him a cursory introduction. And then, Saseki-san knew about the poison. Yes, and it's highly likely that the reporter who was writing up the story about us would have caught a glimpse of the toxin, too. This... any memo-san. By the way, did that reporter join you at all when you went to the beach? Oh! No, I don't remember the reporter being there. Indeed. He shouldn't have been. I very much doubt anyone would have wanted him there. No? A known criminal has been given permission by the authorities to bathe by the seaside. Saseki-san pointed out that inviting a reporter might be problematic, so the man was sent back to his office. Yet, he obviously didn't go back. He secretly followed the party to the beach and took this very candid photograph. And then presumably he posted it anonymously to the police. Yes, that must be what happened. Counsel! We've just heard that the new witness is now ready to testify. Trial is about to resume. Please proceed into the courtroom at once. It's time to steel ourselves once again, then. Defense attorney Ryutaro Naruhodo. Yes! Faye has put her faith in me now and told me everything. I can't let her down. I have to prove that what she's telling the court is true. I have to prove what really happened that day. I'm a little bit. Okay. It's sort of cooled down. Hang on. Let me get a few bites. The soup itself is still hot. The stuff inside the soup is fine. I hereby call this court to order as we reconvene to continue the trial of Ray Membami. Prosecutor Algie, have you summoned a new witness? Before I address that question, Your Excellency, I have some very important news to share. Oh? What news? And why does he look so happy about it?
During the recess with the collaboration of Prismikatoba's laboratory at Yume University, the police re-examined a knife that was used to end Mr. Zalebrett's life.
Excellent.
I admire your rapid handling of the matter. Oh, too kind, Your Excellency, too kind. I was merely carrying out your instructions, of course.
I had the regent delivered to police headquarters by rickshaw, so it will be there in good time.
But judging by the man's swagger, I fear we might need to brace ourselves for the inevitable.
And, Counsel, what were the results?
This dagger, which was so cruelly used to end the life of the victim, has no trace of poison anywhere along its blade. What? Are you sure about that? I would stake the reputation of the police on it.
Armed with the regent, the test is extremely simple. They couldn't have made a mistake.
In short, the accused's feeble excuse earlier has been utterly destroyed. Now, the prosecution is ready to call the new witness.
Ah, the newspaper reporter who managed to capture a photograph of the crucial moment. Good. Very well, officer. Bring in the new witness. Trace of poison on the knife. But if that's really the case, how could the toxin have entered the victim's body? Hello, guy who looks like he came from Lupin.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
Write him many memo of the show you news. I'm what people like to call a journo. What's a journo, Father? Do you know? It's simply a contradiction of journalist. Contraction. I'm there where the news breaks, putting pen to paper to catch those scoops so that they're in print the next morning. They don't call me the hero of the herald for nothing. The nice guy of news. Oh, so, it was you who took this photograph, was it? Well, what have we here? I'm sorry? Oh, brace yourselves, people! Memo senses a scoop in the offing. Female student up to foul play, defended by curiously handsome young lawyer in Supreme Court.
The readers will lap this up! We'll set it above the fold at 72 point in the 5-leg format for the morning edition. How the hell did I not mess that up? Huh? Right then. Let's start with your name.
Oh, it's Ryotaro Naruhodo. Next, what made you want to become a lawyer? I wanted to reform our country's legal system, I suppose. Ryotaro has suddenly become very ambitious, I see. Just borrowed Kazuma-sama's dream for a while. By the way, my name is Taketsuchi Aoji. That's Taketsuchi Aoji. The so-called dark horse of the Supreme Court. My objections strike fear into every defense lawyer's heart. No, the readers won't buy that. What? I really should not break my throat before a raid, but whatever. Witness. Yes? What this court demands to know is whether or not you were responsible for the taking of this picture. It was delivered anonymously to the Imperial Police Bureau only yesterday. Yeah, I wouldn't be a journo if I didn't click quick with the scoop like that now, would I? Sometimes stories call out to me, sometimes I have to chase them down, but either way, you gotta be fast.
fast legs to run with and a fast hand to write with. It's no good if you don't note it down, I always say. That's what I call my mini-memoism. Mini-memoism? Ah, yes. I remember your face. We met that day when you were interviewing myself and Seki-san.
Yes, right. That was me, Mini-Memo again. But you were supposed to be going back to the Shoyu news office after our meeting. But the scoop is, I didn't. Because I didn't go to one's words that piqued my journalistic interest. Miss Brett's words? A criminal, left to do as she pleases just because she happens to be a British citizen. It's horse dung! Holy shit, he broke that pencil in half. This country's judiciary is rotten to the core. The Supreme Court's rulings aren't worth the paper they're written on. The police are just imperial pawns. Oh god, he's becoming political.
Stay your tongue, young man. There are complex political issues at play. Well, anyway, I quickly jotted down those words she said in my memo pad. I swear to fucking Christ, I am about to strangle this man in the middle of court right before raid. Are you ready? I'll read it out. It's all here, right? Here goes. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. A serious criminal going on some junket. The people need to know about this. That's why I decided to sneak after them.
To get the woman's story so I can hammer her in the press. You mean to say that you did indeed witness it firsthand? Grim scene portrayed in this photograph? Why did you have to snap it like that? Oh yes, I saw it with my very own journal eyes. From start to finish, through the viewfinder of my trusty camera. Can you stop moving it? I don't see a crack on it. Ugh. Thank you, Mini-Memo-san. You will now give a formal testimony before the court. You will state exactly what it is that you witnessed in the events surrounding Miss Brett's death. I also can't. I'm assuming he's Japanese. Partly based on the name, but also partly on the family crest. Isn't this going to be really bad? Because then that means it's confirmed that the Japanese would have killed the English woman. Beach hut was made of shoddy old reed screens. There were plenty of gaps I could see inside through. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the English woman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back. My smoldering journal spirit burst into flames. Quick as a flash, I whipped up my camera ready to click. I pulled apart the rough weave of one of the scenes and poked the lens through for the perfect shot. How are their straps still alive? These screens, you say? Right, you can see them clearly enough in this great shot I snapped. The hut walls were just screens made of coarsely woven reeds. Yes, it allows the breeze to pass through and bring some relief for the summer heat. And it was a breeze for me to poke my camera through and see the whole thing hotting up. Ignoring for the time being of the appalling invasion of privacy involved, did you witness everything that happened from the moment the defendant entered the hut? Oh yes, I saw it. I saw the whole thing from start to finish. And you say that you took the photograph through a gap in one of the screens? Luckily for me, they were pretty shoddily woven. I pulled the reeds apart and thrusted the lens of my camera through the gap. Would I get away with it? Or would I be seen? It was the gamble of a lifetime. A tenacity of purpose that's considered admirable in a journalist, I suppose. Run a verse one day, run a scoop the next. That's Mini-Memoism in a nutshell. Last, it would appear we have a genuine witness to this wicked crime. The evidence and testimony are extremely compelling. I believe we may be close to a verdict. Wonderful news, Your Excellency. Wonderful! Nevertheless, it cannot be denied that this testimony begs one very large question. What question? Exclusive news, a startling photograph. All the makings of an exceptional story for the reporter. Why then was the story never published? Oh, that's right. It seems clear to me that there are circumstances at play here that are yet to be understood.
Ha! More pathetic excuses.
Very well then, Counsel. Proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Excellency.
There's more to this report than meets the eye. He's keeping something about the case very close to his chest. He really just looks like he came straight from Lupin. No. Okay. I'm guessing. Oh shit.
Hold it!
Oh, I forgot to. Hold on. Did I ever examine this? It's just a simple knife. There's nothing like great about it. Ah yes, this must be the victim's blood. Oh dear, blood is never a pretty sight, is it? Having to fight the urge to run it under a hot tap and get it clean. You've always been fastidious about cleanliness, haven't you? I think this is something else, Father. Yeah, like there's nothing fantastic about this knife. You actually saw Membami-san enter the hut. I almost said Many Memo. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose it. Yup, and she was raging. Raging like my journal spirit. And the argument you mentioned, what was that about exactly? Stole it. I didn't steal it. Kind of thing. What about the poison aspect? Student girl walked right up to the English woman and really started laying into her. I mean, if she laid it any more into her, there would have been eggs. I hate it here. The man should have been an author. His descriptive talents are wasted on journalism. But the student's randy fell on deaf ears. Like a Japanese person listening to English for the first time. He really ought to work on his similes first, though, to be honest. Anyway, the point is, that woman in the dock was mightily angry. And her temper finally got the better of her, it seems. Dear me. Which was the climactic moment that I caught on film. I really don't. What am I trying to find? We're fully aware of your desire to capture the incident on film, I'm sure. But why then did you choose to post a picture anonymously to the police? I'm afraid I don't understand a word that's coming out of your mouth. I'm asking why, as a journalist, you decided not to make a story out of the incident. Think of me as a sculptor. A sculptor who makes art out of the sordid, private details of other people's lives. But I need to discuss my own personal life on principle. I mean, that's basic minimism. It's not something to boast about. No doubt your burning desire to see the truth exposed and justice done was what motivated you. That's it! That's brilliant! My burning desire to see something or other exposed. Has to be a good reason why he didn't think to write an article about what he saw, though. For your own ambition, you were outside the hut. How then did you manage to take the photograph? Ah, yes, that. I'm glad you asked. Those straps are hanging on for dear life. I just want you to be aware of.
Hold it!
The two women inside didn't notice? Ha! Obviously not. If they had, where would I be right now? In jail, that's where! What do you think would make you reflect on what you were doing? No, a journalist's job is to collect little snippets of life as unobtrusively as possible. Leave nothing but footprints. Take nothing but photos. Yes, that's spot on. Did he just make that up? The point is, the witness risked life and limb to obtain that photograph. And this photograph reveals the whole truth. There is nothing more to be said. I am so fucking confused. He claims to have spied the whole affair from start to finish. If true, his testimony is devastating. But it does seem as though he's holding something back, doesn't it? How you feel, I suggest that you trust your instincts and press him on everything he said. As you've no doubt seen many times before in your role as judicial assistant. Yes, I have! I've seen witnesses like this pressed often. I know exactly what to do. Are you holding back?
Hold it!
Do you swear before this court that you actually saw the precise moment when the stabbing took place? Huh! The precise moment? I didn't see just that. I saw the whole hellish scene play out from start to finish. I have here a simple plan of the beach hut. Perhaps you could use it to explain to court exactly what you witnessed. Right you are! It's all here in my mini memo pad. When I first peered into the hut, I'm sure that the Englishwoman was on the stool at the back of the hut here. Yes, the accused's own testimony confirmed that. Sat at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly, is what I have noted down. It's my turn to testify now. Try not to interrupt. Then, the next moment, as I was watching, evil student girl entered the hut. After a while, the pair of them ended up in the middle of the hut, arguing furiously. The Englishwoman went for the student, but the girl dodged out of the way, and in a flash plunged a knife into her adversary's back as the two passed each other. What do you describe as a grim crime indeed? Never sugarcoat the truth. That's what many memoism says. I am about to strangle him. I will literally pick him in the balls and strangle him. By the way, many memo-san, whilst you were watching that terrible scene unfold before your eyes through the gap in the scene, it did not occur to you to try to prevent the tragedy rather than capture it on film. Journalists have to be observers. We can't get involved. That's our raison d'etre. That. So you didn't converse with Miss Brett at all? Obviously not. An observer always remains on the outside looking in. And that's something to be proud of, is it? Your Excellency, if I may. Yes, Professor? I think the witness's last expertly phrased statement should perhaps be added to his formal testimony. Mother, what are you... I will grant the defense's request. Many memo-san, you will supply your formal testimony with the aforementioned statement. Well, nihilism is the foundation of many memoism, but I'll gladly prove that my words aren't meaningless. I'll set foot in the hut nor spoken with the Englishman I was there only as an observer. Okay, yeah. So this is where I present the pen. I will do that later. I'll see if I feel well enough to do it after raid, but we got raid in like 5 minutes. So let me take a break. Because I think after that, after the stuff that I had to do yesterday, my left side is a little bit more weird. And it was not happy this entire time. I want to take a break, eat the rest of my soup. We gotta do raid. So we might come back after raid. At like 9:30ish, depending on people. Oh, what is open? Get out of here. I think I can just turn off YouTube. So we're gonna turn off YouTube, and then I'm gonna switch to Twitch for game. How do I do this again? I'm sorry, it's been a while since this happened. Yeah. I will see you guys for raid. I might come back later to do more of this first case and maybe a little bit of the second. Yeah, bye YouTube. I'll see you guys in a little bit, maybe, possibly. If not, I will see you later this week.